Hey guys, once again, here I am. This is not a nightmare bitch. This is what we call a retro review. I might do more of these if, this becomes popular. But like I said, sometimes you watch a movie you hadn't watched before, or, watch a movie that's older and maybe an old series that you check out. So I actually did that myself this past week. I forget what night it was. Was it the night? I took one night off of work. I think it might have been that night. Or it might have been Saturday night. Either way, I decided that I was going to... I had never actually seen the next Karate Kid before. I don't know. Shocking, right? Especially with all this Cobra Kai stuff, right? So, no, because 3 was pretty bad. I'll fully admit that. Terry Silver is the most entertaining part of it. But it's bad. But you kind of laugh at it because Karate Kid, whatever. So after that, I was just like, no, I don't like seeing this movie. And I'd heard all these years that it was really bad and it was really dumb and all this stuff. So I was like, oh no, I don't need to see that shit. But begrudgingly, I'm like, you know what? I watched all this Cobra Kai seasons. I watched all the other Karate Kids, including that shitty remake. And I'm like, you know what? I need to give this a chance. I need to just look at this and just see how bad it is or how misunderstood it is or whatever the case. So I'm here to defend this movie, by God, because let me tell you, I did not expect to enjoy this film at all. It's got Pat Morita in it, which is great, and Mr. Miyagi, of course. Hilary Swank's a very capable actress, even at a younger age. And I had seen her in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie. She played Cordelia in that. The original Cordelia. There you go. And, so I thought, just enjoying my donuts, don't mind me. And so I thought, maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. So I would say the worst thing about this film is the villains. The villains are literally rip-offs of Cobra Kai. The only difference is that they're like the security at the school. But like, it's just like, it's set in Boston and they're just like, Michael Ironside might as well just be Kreese. He never says no mercy, but he might as well have said. Like, as they're teaching these guys, they're fighting these things. You have one guy who's with them who kind of breaks away from them and is kind of the love interest for Hilary Swank's character. He's pretty likable. He's pretty good. I don't mind him. There's one guy that, like, the head guy, he's a fucking dick, dude. like, what are you doing fighting women? I also think the reason I always had this bad emblem of this like, oh, she's just kicking a bunch of guys' asses. Oh, that's bullshit. Why don't you just fight a woman? Can't women fight each other? Come on, there's UFC and stuff like that has women fighters and women boxers. I mean, it's not like women don't kick each other's asses, But to be fair, there was only one time when she fought off a guy towards the end, so it wasn't like the whole movie was that. I thought it was interesting though. Like, Hilary Swank was good. Mr. Miyagi's fun. There's a great scene with monks in bowling, which was hilarious. There's much more to this movie than I thought there would be. Like, it's not just the thing of like, well, Daniel fights, when Daniel's facing a new stupid ally who wants to kick his ass. Because he's dishonored him, or he's, I'm going to take your damn belt and all that. And I'm Cobra Kai's, So it was kind of refreshing in a way that it was sort of a different thing. Like, it's more her exploring herself and growing as a person and accepting her parents' death and accepting, that she's been so bitter about her parents' death and stuff like that. And Mr. Miyagi being able to connect to her, and it's different for him because he's used to dealing with Daniel and having this kind of male son thing. So him having to dealing with this girl who's going to be like a daughter to him, and there's this great scene where he buys her this prom dress and he teaches her how to dance and stuff. And it's very sweet and endearing. Like I said, that bowling scene was hilarious. And they have this final showdown with Michael Ironside and all that, and she ends up beating the one guy's ass. And the funny thing is, one of the guys was Walton Goggins. If you remember Walton Goggins, he was on The Shield, and he's been in tons of movies. Great character actor. But he's one of the young, he's like really young there, and he's part of the little group or whatever. And then it kind of ends very similar to like Karate Kid Part 2. It's just like, they finally were just like, no, this is done. Mike Ryan's like, no, it's never finished. Ah. And then he ends up fighting, Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi kicks his fucking ass because, of course. And then everybody pretty much walks away from that guy. Like, yeah, you're done, dude. Screw this. Even the bad guy that was really being a total prick. Like, yeah, we're done with this. So that would be my biggest complaint. The villain sucked. You cut the villains out. I mean, you had to have some kind of adversary, I guess. But like, it just felt too much like a knockoff of Cobra Kai and not an original villain character. Like, there could have been so much more you could have done. Like, have a female villain even. Like, why not? Cobra Kai's proven that's worked out with Tori and Sam. That's worked out just fine. And even the new teacher they had this season of Cobra Kai, you know, it's like, there's no reason you couldn't have a female against female. Not that you couldn't have some guys there too, but like, I don't know, the whole military being in charge of this school, it was really weird. Like, it's almost like a high school, but they got this military security unit that's just like dicks to everybody. So that was an odd choice. But like I said, so I would definitely say, guys, I'm not saying it's the greatest movie ever made by any means, but like, I was definitely surprised by how much I actually enjoyed it. It was like, I was really expecting it to be just cheesy and bad. And there's definitely some parts that are cheesy. There's definitely that Karate Kid cheesy element to it, which is what we love about Karate Kid anyway. But it's really not awful. It's really not. I think the remake is much more awful than this. Honestly, this is, to be honest, to be fair to it, I think it's even a better movie than Karate Kid Part 3. As much as I enjoy Terry Silver in that movie, it's a better movie than this. Like I said, outside the villains suck. But the villains are the worst part of the movie. Take out the villains of the movie's great. It's a great exploratory thing of it. It's a good character study. It's a good character growing, much like Daniel did in the original movie. But like getting confidence in herself and like, you know, but like she's not, even when she's training to fight, she's not training for a tournament. She's not trying to win a belt, you know, or win a belt or, you know, showcase it, you know. It's really just so that she can defend herself and like for defense, you know. So really, it was kind of refreshing. I mean, Pat Morita's great as usual. It's so sad that he passed and stuff because like it would be interesting to see how he would have been in Cobra Kai. You know, his character would have been. But hey, things happen. Unfortunately, that's life. But yeah, so yeah, if you haven't checked it out, guys, it's on HBO Max. If you ever want to just give it a shot and you haven't given it a shot, I encourage you to give it a shot. You know, acknowledge its flaws, just like you can for any Karate Kid movie. Or really any movie, really. You can acknowledge its flaws, but it's really not that bad. It probably didn't do well at the box office because people were just like, oh, where the hell's Daniel? But it's really not that bad of a movie. And I have to get, you know, Anna said it wasn't bad, and like another friend Reese said it was one of his favorite ones. And I was like, how the hell can that be? But I have to agree, it's pretty good. I said, it's not my favorite Karate Kid movie. I'll still always love the original, and the second one's pretty good. But it's pretty good. It's better than 3. It really is. It's better than the remake, and it's better than 3. Outside of Terry Silver, who's just a crazy, awesome villain, who I've definitely enjoyed having him back in Cobra Kai, along with Kreese, because, you know, you gotta love Kreese. Cool, so this is a Cobra Kai fan telling you to check out Next Karate Kid if you haven't. Retro review! If you like this, guys, and there's some movie I haven't maybe seen, you can suggest in the thing down below, and I will watch it, and I'll see if I've seen it, and I'll be like, oh yeah. I also watched Hocus Pocus recently, too, which I had never seen that. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but it was pretty good too, so I enjoyed that as well. So I'm trying to catch up on some things, guys. Sometimes it's a show, sometimes it's a thing. So suggest shows that you maybe I haven't seen or haven't given a chance to. I have a tendency to like not if something's super hyped up and I haven't already started with it. Like with Walking Dead, it got super hyped up, but I was already starting it, so I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. Although I did kind of drop off after Negan and all that. I just was like, this just feels it's going down the hill. And it did. But like things like Breaking Bad, things like Orange is the New Black, I gave that like 3 episodes and I was like, this is not for me. And just like, there's a lot of things that get Sons of Anarchy. There's one scene where Katie Sagal was getting the shit beat out of her by Ron Perlman. I like both actors. It just made me very uncomfortable. And I was just like, I don't really want to see this. It's kind of like, I don't want to see rapes. I know it's part of the thing. It's a thing that happens, and I understand that sometimes you're going for that. It's just, I'm not a big fan of seeing rapes on film. I'm not really a big fan of seeing women get smacked around by a guy. Or like brutally, like not just like a slap. Like, he was like pounding the crap. I was just like, I don't think I'm going to watch this. I'm sure there's good parts of the show, but I don't know, this is not for me. So that's kind of how I am. If something's really overhyped, and I'm not someone who's like, I like Stranger Things, but I know that got overhyped for a lot of people too. But I started with that. That was something I've watch on a whim, so sometimes that happens. So anyway, guys, check out Next Karate Kid if you haven't seen it, guys. And that's all the videos I'm going to do for this channel today. There are 4 videos for you to watch, so get watching and have a happy new year, guys. But we'll be back tomorrow. Me and Anna will be back tomorrow with a best of movie. our best movies that we saw this year. So I'm going to relax the rest of the day, finish my donut, and you guys have a great day and happy, safe New Year.